Arsenal have made their first move this transfer window with the signing of Christos Tzolis from Club Brugge. But what makes the winger so special? We're joined by Opta analyst Ollie Hopkins to discuss the transfer further. Ollie, thank you for joining us. How are you?
I'm good, thank you, Jordan. How are you?
Yeah, I'm good, thank you. I mean, it's an interesting one, as not many people will know this, but Tzolis actually made his debut against Arsenal for Norwich in 2021. But what can Arsenal fans expect this time around?
Interesting name, I guess, that Arsenal started off their summer signings with. He scored 17 goals, created 23 assists. I mean, that's 40 goal contributions across the entire league. Only Harry Kane had more across Europe's top 5 leagues last season than Tzolis himself. And it's not just the kind of like the top line numbers either that stand out when we're talking about Tzolis. I mean, if you look at all players who scored at least 10 goals in the Belgian Pro League last season, he led all players for dribbles completed, progressive carries, chances created. It's a season where he has kind of dominated the league, really, in terms of kind of like attacking frontline numbers. So I think Arsenal are kind of getting an exciting winger who could fill the hole that Trossard is leaving by moving to Besiktas.
You mentioned his top line numbers there. Going into a bit more detail, what kind of stands out?
I think that the kind of the top line numbers they really do stand out quite aggressively. He likes to operate off the left-hand side, but is strongest coming in off that left. So yeah, coming inside on his right foot. And that is, through dribbling and through ball carrying. In the Belgian top flight last season, he completed almost 360 progressive carries, which was by far and away the most of any other player in the league. I think there is more space to operate in Belgium versus maybe what he'll find in the Premier League. And so having the space in front of him to kind of run into and carry the ball forward might not be as kind of freely available in England as it was kind of playing for Brugge. So that could be an area where he has to kind of develop his ability to kind of run with the ball against a kind of lower block. But certainly he was very good at attacking spaces during his time at Brugge. I
know he's up there for set piece delivery. How key could that be this season?
Yeah, this is a really interesting angle, and I think is perhaps being overlooked by some. I mean, Arsenal scored 19 goals on corners last season in the Premier League, which was a record for any team in a single Premier League season. We know that they love scoring goals on set pieces, and they love kind of being effective from not only corners but kind of free kicks as well. 8 of Tzolis's assists last season came from corners, and just shy of 40% of his chances came from corners. He's a real threat from both sides, whipping in either in-swingers or out-swingers with his right foot. So I think with essentially Rice and Saka carrying injuries, tiredness from the World Cup, maybe not even playing for the first few months of the season regularly anyway, there's a real case that Tzolis could step up and become, the set piece taker, basically from day one.
What are the areas where there may be a little bit of concern or kind of where he needs to improve on?
Yeah, I think just the quality of the league he was operating in is worth talking about that. I mean, we have the Belgian Jupiler Pro League at 8th overall in the world according to the Opta Power rankings, which is just below the Championship. That is a real jump, both in terms of like who he's playing with as a team and as teammates, because I guess the average team he's playing against is going to be a lot more, a lot tougher, a lot more robust physically, and I think it's harder to kind of play against than it would have been kind of playing week in, week out for Bruges in the top flight. He's clearly too good for the Belgian league, looking at his overall numbers. I guess the question will be whether he can produce that level of performance regularly enough.
You mentioned Trossard leaving earlier. Is this a direct replacement, or is maybe Arteta going down a bit more of a different direction?
I think there's still obviously going to be, I think, a big name left winger that Arsenal want to bring in, which will be a star name. But this is certainly a like-for-like-ish replacement. On paper, they are similar players, both right-footed, both operate off the left mainly. It could eventually go beyond a like-for-like swap. But I think, obviously, Trossard's a bit of a cult hero at Arsenal, scored, the goal against West Ham that effectively won them the Premier League last season. And so I think it's going to take time for Tzolis to even come close to that sort of level of status in the club. But yeah, he can certainly fill that Trossard-shaped hole in the left of attack.